Hi, welcome to my social media assessment number 3. You're with me, Nathan Falkner. So this is our introduction, sport versus climate. So the focus is, it's going to be on an original story, and that is how climate change is impacting community sport. And it is having a significant impact. It's having a significant impact across many regions in Australia, and the Trobe research, with help from community sport managers, identified 5 cluster impacts that climate change is having on sport. The first being management and planning, the second being infrastructure and repairs, social and emotional impacts, changes to events, and lastly, but most importantly, health and safety, where rising temperatures in the extreme weather increase the risk of heat stress, heat stroke, and exertional illness for athletes, officials, and spectators. The findings emphasise the importance of integrating community-level sport managers' perspectives into climate adaptation strategies in sport. So, with over 70,000 sport clubs in Australia, sport runs in the veins of many Australians that we absolutely know of. This campaign needs to increase awareness on an ever-present issue in society so it can inform others and help mobilise the right people to take action. There is room for those who are affected to understand the impacts of climate change and in sport and encourage them to advocate for change. So, who's our target audience? It's important to combine demographic data, behavioural insights, and platform-specific information so that marketers can successfully identify and target the right audience for a social media campaign. The target audience of this news story is everyday sport players, coaches, and fans, as they are the ones who are directly affected by changes in schedules, facilities, and impacts to health. Their demographic sits around 16 to 55 years of age. They cover all genders, and they're located primarily around regional areas across Australia, which includes urban, regional, and rural. Their behavioural characteristics are that of they enjoy participation and attendance at sport every week. They value the well-being of the athlete and the game to which they play, as they are greatly invested in sport. They are also the most reactive when it comes to delays or cancellations of their sporting events. The age range creates a great spread of social media use when these people access their sport news. They will mostly come across Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Local sport managers are as well a target audience of ours, as they are on the front lines dealing directly with issues coming from climate changes in sport. Their demographic age is around 30 to 60 years old, once again covering all genders, and are located in regional areas across Australia. Their occupation outside their main job is they're likely to be employed by the sport club or organisations in management roles. Behavioural characteristics include they'll have concerns about risk management in their organisation. They are normally tasked with planning, scheduling, maintenance, or infrastructures within their club. So it's expected that they will be responsive to issues on the matter of climate in sport. They are likely to use Facebook, X, or Instagram as their main sources of social media. Platform selection. There is a significant age range for our explicit target audiences. Overall, the ages can range from 16 to 60. This means that there are a lot of bases to cover in order to reach everyone we aim to. The 3 platforms chosen to display the content are as follows. TikTok. It's ideal for engaging the younger side of our audience. The shorter form content suits the needs for Gen Z. Instagram. It is important at engaging the next bracket of age, suiting an audience of 18 to 35 years old. They prefer content that contains images, reels, and some text. And lastly, Facebook. This platform will be able to target a broader audience, and for our campaign, we'll be able to reach an older audience. It's suitable for an age range of 18 to 65, attracting them with text, photo, and video content. These 3 platforms are the most appropriate as it allows us to appeal to a broader audience. It's important that we find a way to reach as many people as we possibly can, as this is an important issue and can have major ramifications in sport in not just the long-term future, but also the near future. Most importantly, as of the data of 2024, these platforms have the highest engagement rates from any social media platform. TikTok and Instagram in particular showed the highest engagement rates in 2024, which indicates their ability to effectively engage the audience through interactive and visual content. Content strategy. My content strategy will be focusing on leveraging a blend of transformational and informational messages, as they are the most effective in driving engagement on social media. I will be tailoring these messages to the specific platforms I'll be using to raise awareness about the issues of climate and sport. TikTok. I plan on creating short videos that capitalize on the humor aspect of the issue. Humor is one of the most engaging content categories on TikTok, especially when it incorporates creativity and relatability. This will be important when targeting the desired audience we wish to reach, as they have first-hand experience about the way climate affects sport. These humorous short videos will contain quick, digestible facts about climate in sport to make it educational. The blend of entertainment and information forms a type of content best suited to TikTok users called infotainment, which helps promote interest for younger audiences in social news. Instagram. I plan to use this platform to leverage high quality images to engage audiences in carousel posting. Posting a carousel on Instagram will allow me to be able to post several high quality images and provide detailed non-verbal information on the issue. This type of content aligns with our target audience, particularly those within the 18 to 35 range, as it aligns with their preferences on visually appealing and comprehensive content. Studies have shown that carousel posting enhances likes and drives engagement. And Facebook. We'll be using a series of text posts that will engage a more older audience base who use this platform. The text will provide the audience with a short pull about the growing issue of climate in sport. The post will also be accompanied by an image to help draw in younger audiences as well. The text post will also include a link to the Trobe article to encourage audiences into further reading. This type of experimental content has been known to attract older audiences on social media. Legal requirements. Whilst all legal requirements of the media are enforced on my campaign, I acknowledge that the most cautious I will need to be is with copyright laws. For copyright, I need to make sure that the images and music I use for my social media posts are either coming from the public domain, free to use, or Creative Commons, where I need to apply appropriate attribution. For reporting news, I am aware that copyright material may be used provided that the use is fair. So it would be primarily used for a newsworthy issue, not to solely entertain. I would still need to acknowledge the author and title of the work. Engagement strategy. My engagement strategy is to build a loyal and engaged user base through consistent and meaningful interactions. On each platform, responding to comments in the form of addressing concerns about climate in sport or answering more detailed questions on the issue will be important as it fosters trust and two-way interaction, building a community around my campaign. Using relevant and consistent hashtags will also be important when driving engagement. Not only does it push traffic and impact social media algorithms, it can also be extended to include creative challenges. Hashtag melting players will be a challenge that encourages athletes to create TikToks or Reels that show what it's like to play in 40-degree weather, which creates community whilst also raising awareness to the issue. Measurement and evaluation. There are many KPIs that my campaign will be keeping an eye on, with one of the main indicators. These numbers are relatively easy to gather, as all social media platforms show these metrics inside their applications. Furthermore, they offer free to access analytical insights which show how effective and meaningful the engagement is. TikTok will allow me not just to see the number of views, but also allow me to see audience retention rate and what % of the overall viewers watch the full video. But these are just quantitative numbers. We also need to look at the qualitative numbers as well. Because while we can look at the numbers of, let's say, comments, it doesn't reveal the content or sentiment of the interactions. So I will be measuring the net sentiment on top of interactions to evaluate the effectiveness of the campaign. Net sentiment can be measured by the number of positive comments minus the number of negative comments. Ultimately, this is all important for evaluating the effectiveness of my content. If the data doesn't stack up to positive net sentiment and engagement, then I'll need to make necessary adjustments to ensure the message can be well received by the audience. You can check out the links in the next slide. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed listening.